Hello and welcome back to part 8 of this build series for the Ryefield Models StuG 4. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much to all of my subscribers. We're closing in on 100 subscribers, and that's something I never thought would happen. In fact, I was hesitant to release even the first video because I thought I would never get any views and subscribers was out of the question, but here we are and you're smashing it, so thank you very much for all of your comments, likes and subscribes. Let's get into this build, and I've had a request from one of my subscribers, Sergei Petrov I think was his name, and he actually wanted me to do some detail painting on camera, so that's what I thought we'd start out with. I have a few pieces that I have started painting and a few that I left for on-cam work. So here we are. As you may see, I have done quite some work since the last video. Not that much, but I've added a few details here and there, like for instance the rear of these fenders. I've added the exhaust here, I've added the front fenders, I've added a mounting bracket for the axe and for some of the crowbars, and I think I've also added this piece here in front that will hold the spare tracks. But let's get into... Oops, that one was apparently not that hard glued, so we'll have to put that one back on later. We take a palette and we start with some yellowish color here, the Dunkle. I have a couple of brackets for some of the tools that I want to paint with this color. So we just put a drop of Dunkle in the palette. Take a fine pencil. This is a 3-0 pencil that I'm using. Paintbrush, sorry. So let's see here. I don't know how good this will show up, but this bracket here and this bracket here I would like to paint in Dunkle, just to add a little bit of contrast. Like so. I hope everyone is having a fantastic week and that your builds are progressing nicely. Springtime is finally coming around here in Sweden, so I've been spending most of my weekends trying to play some golf, so that's why there hasn't been much work done on the StuG lately. Just trying to see here. I have the morning sun shining in through my kitchen window, shining on the part here, so I'm having a hard time seeing where I actually put the paint. But you can always touch up later in case you mess up, so it's no big deal. There we go, and this one will eventually go roughly here. And as you can see, it makes a makes it a bit more interesting. Breaks off the colors and creates a bit of a contrast. And then we have this wrench here. It will go on the right rear. But again, we paint just a little bit here. I will try to hold this with a toothpick. Yeah, that's much easier. So now I can actually go in. I need some paint. Just to cover parts of the black. There we go. And this one should go here. And then finally we have the axe, which also have a couple of mounting points that needs to be painted. And that was the bottom side. We go on the top instead. Like that. It's a bit fiddly to hold the pieces since they are not that large, but it's going okay anyway. I paint this photo etch bracket. And there we go. And that's the axe that goes here. So that's all that needs to be painted in the Dunkle. So a quick rinse of the brush, and we'll do some painting on the shears. So I'll use a bit of the rot brown for this because it was, if I'm correctly, it was made out of Bakelite, so it should have been a slight reddish color, but most likely it was painted along with the tank, so it was covered. It did not stand out as much, but For me, I like a bit of contrast, so it's always nice to add different colors. I think it makes the model a bit more interesting if it's not just a plain yellow looking model. I will of course be adding some greens and browns for the camouflage later on, but breaking the color up a little bit makes it a bit more interesting in my opinion, but those who care more for historical accuracy might not agree, but to each their own, and this is my model and how I do it, so if you don't feel like doing it this way, it's quite okay. There we go. And these metal cutters will go here. And then we have some black to be added. I need to touch up a little bit of the creme base on one of these hatches. I'll just do a quick splash of the creme base. Like so. I actually had to turn this handle a little bit after painting, and that's why I need to touch up slightly here. There we go. Next color up is black, which I'll use for those handles and also for the seat. So we'll put some black color there. And this just brings the handle out a bit more. This hatch will be, I will try to put it in an upright position so it will be seen. It's actually one of the brake covers that goes here. And we'll do the other one as well. Like so. And then finally we have this seat that goes on here in the back. And this might need a couple of layers before it's done, but I'll just put one layer on it now and then I'll touch it up off cam. If need be. There we go. And then finally I'd like to do the leaf springs. On this tank, and I'll do those in black as well, just to add a bit of detail and contrast. And I'll just do the one here and then I'll carry on and do the rest off cam. Like so. Then we mustn't forget the front. And of course the back also. There we go. And like I said, this may very well have been yellow in real life, but I just like to add a few colors here and there, just to create some contrasts and some interest, bring some interest to the model. This won't be seen anyway once you put the road wheels on, so it doesn't really matter if it's red, green or blue. As you can see, you won't see anything of it, but I like to do it just for the fun of it. And then finally there is one more thing I would like to do before taking a short break. I'll clean my paintbrush. And again, I don't really know if this is accurate to real life, and I really don't care. I just do it for the fun of it. And I'll add a little bit of steel color to the palette, and I'll paint the tip of the axe in steel, because typically when you grind the axe to sharpen it, you get a little bit of steel color showing through. Like so. And since this one will go inside here, you want to really see it anyway. So that's that, but I like doing small work like this, and like I said, it may or may not be very accurate, but I'll do it anyway for the fun of it. And next, I actually forgot to take out one color, so just give me a second and I'll get the wood color out, because I'd like to paint the handle of the axe in a wood color while I'm at it. And I'll first add a color of bright wood color, and then I'll add some reddish tones to that. Let's see if we can get a hold of this one without messing the paint up. And like I said, this may very well have been painted along with the rest of the tank, so it would have most likely have been more of a Dunkle gelb with some, maybe with perhaps some green or brown, but I don't like painting everything yellow. I like to break it up with some other colors, so that's why I'm gonna paint it in a nice wooden color. And finally I'll do the tip here. There we go, and that's the axe almost done. Like I said, I will paint some red on top of this at a later stage, but that's it for now. That's will be it for now. I will take a short break, and after work I will try to get back and do some more painting and building. I have quite a few pieces that we can put on, and hopefully we'll get to a rolling chassis before the end of this video. But I'll take a short break for now, and it will only be a couple of seconds for you, but it will actually be almost half a day for me. And I'm back. What I've finished this morning is the detail painting of the leaf springs for the suspension. I painted all of those, and then I finished off the axe with something that, if you don't look too close, it resembles wood. So that's that. And I actually noticed that this video has been going on for about 25 minutes by now, so I think I will actually call it a day here, and for the next part there will be quite a lot of building done. So I'll see you in the next one. Have a great week, and don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.